going to see the relation between multiplicity of roots and the nature of the graph. So if the multiplicity of the root is even, the graph would touch the x-axis at that point and bounce back. So we have an example here, which is we have a function f of x equal to x minus 2 the whole square. So first we factorize this function and we get x minus 2 the whole bracket multiplied by x minus 2. So from here we see that the root of the function is 2 and it occurs 2 times in our factorized polynomial. So its multiplicity is 2, and I have drawn the graph of this function here, and we can see that the graph touches the x-axis at 2 and bounces back. In the roots with odd multiplicity, the graph would cross the x-axis at that point. So we have an example, which is a function x minus 10 the whole cube. So here I have factorized this function and we get the root as 10 and its multiplicity is not 10, sorry, it is 3. So it's the root's multiplicity is 3, and from the graph we can see that at x equal to 10 the graph crosses the x-axis. It doesn't bounces back, it crosses it. So now we will solve some questions. The first question says that draw graph of f of x which is equal to this equation. First we find its roots. So if we put x equal to 1, this bracket becomes 0, which means 1 is a root of that function. If we put x equal to minus 1, the second bracket becomes 0. So minus 1 is also the root of the function. And if we put x equal to minus 4, the third bracket becomes 0. Hence minus 4 is also the root of that function. So we know that the graph of the function touches the x-axis at these 3 points. Now we have to find out that what is the value of y when x is between minus 4 and minus 1, and when x is between minus 1 and 1. From the function's equation, when x is between minus 4 and minus 1, this bracket will always be negative. This bracket would also be negative. Only the third bracket will be positive, as x is between minus 4 and minus 1. So from here we can conclude that f of x would always be positive, as when we multiply two negative real numbers we get a positive real number, and when we multiply a positive real number with a positive real number, we get a positive real number again. So between a -4 and -1, the function takes positive y values. Now between -1 and 1, the first bracket will always be negative, the second bracket would be positive, and the third bracket would also be positive, which means that our function's value would be negative because a positive number multiplied by a positive number is positive, and positive number multiplied by a negative number gives us a negative number. So when x is between -1 and 1, y ka value is in the negative side, which is downwards. So this is our graph of the function, and as we can see here that -4, 1 and -1 all have multiplicity 1, which is odd. Here we know that the graph of the function would cross the x-axis at that point, which means the graph of the function would cross the x-axis at 1. That's why I have drawn the function like this, and similarly at -4. The second question says that draw the graph of the function f of x, which is equal to this equation. So try this question yourself and see if your answer is correct through Desmos app.